back in those days, that car, even though it looks as though it's ready to fall to bits, it was my car, work car, and I used to deliver the mail around here, groceries, in the shearing season. I'd load it up and head off up to New South Wales in it. I got that originally out of a creek. Some kids on this farm had driven the car into the creek and the father left it there. I paid that. Give him £6 for it, which seems it was a lot of money in the day. And I gave like 10 shillings to tow it home. And when I got home, I decided that it looked a bit like that, but it did have a hood on it. And as I say, it became a work car. Travelled around Coldstream here for 3 or 4 years. I used to take everybody over to the dances, Gerard Glenn in it, and so I suppose there's quite a bit of history with it. But it ended up under the footy ground because before this subdivision was cut up, it was a dry creek ran through it, and the normal thing on farms, if you got somewhere to dump your rubbish, you dump it. And that's how it came to then. And then when the footy ground was made, they put a big barrel drain through, levelled over the top of it, but they didn't shift everything, they just covered it over. So that's where it is now.
When we grew up, we had, I was out here and I think at 7 we were playing under 16s cricket because basically there was 11 kids on the estate. And, you'd get up on a Saturday morning and somebody would drive you around and you'd be knocking on all the kids' doors to get a cricket team together to actually play cricket. And that's what I mean. So that was a very central thing because there was fewer numbers in the town. I suppose everybody was involved. And if you weren't involved and you moved in and you looked like, you had 2 legs and 2 arms and you could stand on a cricket field, you were co-opted into the team basically to play in their thing. So it was a really, really strong focal point at that stage of a small town growing up. That people would become involved in them sort of pursuits. And once again, the football was, there was one junior team, which was an under-13s team, and everyone played because, you only had enough kids for everyone to play. Mm.
It's a funny place to live. It's very beautiful. It's very close to Melbourne, yet it's country. The rates are very high and your expenses are high. We've got waterworks water, but you pay for that. And you just have to find something other than farming to make it a viable way of life. So he learned to fly, and he's decided then, a friend of his had a plane, and he lived at Gruya, which was hilly, and he said, I put it in, can we put a strip on your property? And Jim said yes, and that's how the airport started.
I always say that when I was growing up, if we'd go out to Coldstream, if we'd go out to Hillsville or Yea or anywhere else out that way on a weekend as a family, on the way home I'd usually be asleep as a small child, and I'd be really upset with my mum if she hadn't woken me up on the way home. So I know as a small person, my imagination went wild about what was on the other side. So I think for
on the other side of
the hedge, because you didn't know what was there if you hadn't been behind. Whereas I get a lot of people coming in because they have this memory of Lady Vesting more than anybody else. So Dame Nellie Melba's granddaughter, who would open up the gardens for Red Cross events or other events where she could allow the gardens to be used so that money could be raised for things that she believed in or her grandmother believed in. So people want to go back and visit that and relive that memory of meeting her.
My missus used to take the kids up the year in school
and Kneebone over here had the garage, and he had the lolly shop. So if the kids were on ice cream on a hot day, he might be working there and he'd say, all right, I'll come straight across, and he wouldn't wash his hands. So when he'd give the kids the cone, they'd have a nice bit of grease on it, and the kids all knew anyway.
Oh, funny enough, if you drive down there now, you'll see a sign just before the bridge with a tree on it. Roadside tree roads, or rest area ahead, I think. It's got a tree. Now, you used to have, this is a really good thing, funny, I reckon. It's got a tree there. You used to have a picnic table and bench under it. I rang up the Shire and I said, you've got a, you're talking about, we had a big argument about signs out in the roadway. I said, well, you've got a great big sign down there that says rest there with picnic tables. I said, there's no such thing. So a few weeks later, I drove past it and I went, you've got to be joking. They came out and painted out the table. And it's just there, there's a tree there now on the big sign. So I rang them up, I said, great work. I said, now people come down, look, there's a tree. Now they can pull over and see a tree.